You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the December 18th, 2023 meeting of the Michigan City Board of Public Works and Safety. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting of the Michigan City Board of Public Works and Safety to order. This 18th day of December 2023, present are Mayor Dwayne Perry, Mr. Michael Vincent, myself, Virginia Keating. We have a quorum. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the regular hybrid Zoom meeting of December 4th, 2023. Are there any corrections?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Support.
I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next item on the agenda is a resolution memorializing action taken by the Board of Works and Safety regarding INDOT's request to purchase city-owned real estate located on the corner of 100 East Michigan Boulevard to complete installation of ADA traffic signals. Board, you remember this from previous
Yes,
meeting?
Madam Chair, yes.
Are there any comments before we vote?
None here. Motion to approve.
Second.
I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you all. Next item on the agenda is a contract approval, and I want to note for the record that this request has been revised as follows. Shannon Eason, Assistant Park Superintendent, is requesting to rescind the supplemental agreement number 3 and approve the LPA consulting contract between the City of Michigan City and Butler, Fairman, and Seaford for the third phase of the Singing Sands Trail. Shannon?
Morning, Board. Shannon Easton, Assistant Park Superintendent. I'm simply asking the board to rescind the previous supplemental agreement that you signed. NDOT requires that this be a standalone agreement because part of the construction on phase 3 has already been let. The terms are exactly the same. It'll just be a standalone agreement once you rescind the supplemental.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any public comment? Any board comment?
None here, Madam Chair.
Then I'll need a motion both to rescind and then to approve.
I'll make a motion to rescind.
Support.
Call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. And
I'll make a motion to approve.
Support.
call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. The next item on the agenda is a contract amendment. Fraternal Order of Police Dunes Lodge 75 is requesting their third amendment to the 2022-2024 contract between the City of Michigan City, Indiana, and the Fraternal Order of Police Dunes Lodge number 75. Amber, did you want to make a comment? I understand that this is regarding the $7,000 bonus for 7 individuals with conditional offers of employment.
Correct. Under the terms of the existing contract, new hires would have been entitled to the $7,000 extra monies this year. The way the holidays fell and with the 7 new recruits coming in, PERF couldn't guarantee that they would be sworn in before December 31st. So they're down there right now, but this would be to extend that $7,000 to them because quite honestly, it's not fair to them just because we couldn't get them sworn in by the end of the year.
Sorry. Is there any public comment? Any board comment?
Just one question, Madam Chair. This does not, or Ms. LePage Stallbrick, this does not pertain to the individual who left our police force and then within 7 days came back.
No.
Okay, thank you. Motion to approve.
Second.
Call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next item on the agenda is a contract amendment. The Amalgamated Transit Union Local Number 517 is requesting their first amendment to the 2018-2020 contract between the City of Michigan City and the Amalgamated Transit Union Local Number 517. My understanding is the purpose of this is to increase the longevity benefit. Is that correct?
That is correct. Monies was placed in the 2024 budget to increase it from $450 to $650 if you've met the term of years to work.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Is there any public comment? Is there any board comment?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Support.
I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next item is another contract amendment. It is also to increase longevity benefit. The International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 150, Public Employees Division is requesting their first amendment to the 2021-2024 contract between the City of Michigan City and the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 150, Public Employees Division. Once again, is there any comment? Any comment from the public? Any board comment?
Just one, Madam Chair, one question. I'm familiar with Local 150 operating engineers. Which of our city departments are they serving?
Mechanics.
Okay, central maintenance. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Now call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Once again, another increase in longevity benefit contract amendment. Local 228, Council 962, American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFL-CIO, is requesting their first amendment to the 2024-2025 contract between the City of Michigan City and Local 228, Council 962, American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFL-CIO. Once again, is there any public comment? Is there any board comment?
Motion to approve.
Support.
I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next item is a contract approval request, an agreement between the City of Michigan City and Baker Tilly US LLP for municipal advisory services. Just for the record, this proof of funding from the Controller's Office has been received. Amber, did you want to have me explain what this is about, or do you want to go ahead?
I'll be happy to. So our city controller reached out a few weeks ago and said there's money still left in the budget to do these services. What these services would be for Baker Tilly to analyze our fee structure for our permits to see if it's in line, if it's uniform, but to give us an objective overview. Does it need to be increased, decreased? So that's what this is. If this is approved today, then the money would just be encumbered into next year.
Okay. Does it also include updating ordinances and city code?
It would, to the extent that any increase or decreases were warranted.
Okay, thank you. Is there any public comment? Is there any board comment?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Or call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next item on the agenda is an extension agreement request, an agreement between the Michigan City Area Schools and the Board of Public Works and Safety for the second extension of the interlocal government agreement for school resource officer for 2024-2025.
Madam President, our contract with the school expires at the end of this year. This would be to renew it for another 2 years. I'm presenting it to the board ahead of the council just because of how meetings fall, and this would be our last meeting. But I would ask this board to approve it subject to the common council's approval of it tomorrow night. The only change to the contract would be the amount, given the increase in wages to our police department this year. We believed it to be prudent that our MOU with the school reflected the same. So the term would be 100. We'd be providing possibly 2 officers. If we only are providing 1, it would be $100,000. If the chief says that we can, with our manpower, do 2, it would be $150,000. So the change would be the last contract was $100,000. It's potentially going to go up to $150,000.
Thank you. Is there any public comment? Is there any board comment?
Make a motion to approve subject to city council's approval.
Support.
No call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next item on the agenda is an update of a job description. Todd Tanisha George, Human Resource Director, is requesting to update the job description for Vector Control Officer due to the changes in the Vector Department in the city government organizational chart. Good morning, Board. Good morning.
The position of vector control officer, in 2023 now currently is under the, street department. But due to some changes that we made, or the mayor made in the city organizational chart, where the vector control officer will be, on the same level as the street department director, I want to go ahead and get these changes, so that going into 2024, the vector control officer is in proper category.
Is there any board comments or questions?
I have one.
Go ahead.
Is vector control its own office now?
Yes, it always has been its own office per se, but the vector control officer, answered to the street department director. So now with this change, the vector control officer will answer directly to the mayor.
Okay, and do they have a physical office?
They share the same quarters, I believe, as the street department, and, I think it's the structure over off of Ohio Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just asked because I see them spending a lot of time out by the city dump station
Mhm.
in their pickup truck. So if that's their office, I guess that's fine. Otherwise,
They have the vector control head has his own workstation.
in his truck.
No, sir. No, on Kentucky Street in the central services building.
Oh, okay, because we've seen him almost daily for hours backed up in the middle of the woods in his pickup truck. So I was just concerned if they didn't have an office, we need to get them an office somewhere to sit and do their work. If that's where they're doing their work in the middle of the woods, that's,
Well, vector control covers so many different functions every day that the head of vector control conducts his daily business somewhat similar to what a police officer does. He's making calls, he's making changes to the work schedule on the run while he's in his vehicle.
Yeah,
That's why you see him.
yeah, and there's not much work to be done at the leaf dump area, I guess. I could see it if he was out on the street. But anyway,
We can certainly check into that.
yep, all right, thank you. I'll make a motion to approve.
Support?
I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry,
Aye.
Mr. Vincent,
Aye.
chair votes aye as well. Next is an update for a job description. Todd Tanisha George, Human Resource Director, is requesting to update the job description for the Cemetery Assistant Superintendent to reflect the Michigan City Common Council Ordinance 4707, commonly known as the 2024 Salary Ordinance.
This particular request is similar to the vector control officer. This person, this assistant superintendent, has been performing the duties for quite some time. And I believe that the cemetery board, made this change a while ago. So what we're doing now is we're changing the job description to reflect what her position is as far as the cemetery board goes, and also as what is reflected inside of the salary order for next year.
Is there any public comment? Any board comment?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, I just want to make a comment. The person that's been in this job has been performing these duties and carried this title since the year 2011. So this is long overdue. I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry,
Aye.
Mr. Vincent,
Aye.
chair votes aye as well. Thank you.
Thank you, board.
Next item on the agenda is insurance policy renewal request. Charles Keene, Vice President, General Insurance Services, GIS, is requesting approval for Singing Sands Trail General Liability and Excess Liability Insurance Renewal Policy for the term January 1st, 2024 to January 1st, 2025. The renewal annual premium total is $49,173.50. And for the record, I have received proof of funding from the Controller's Office on this. Go ahead, Charlie.
Good morning,
Morning.
board. Today I'm here to seek formal approval for the liability coverages that were created out of the agreements with the South Shore Railroad, Amtrak, and NIPSCO for the Singing Sands Trail. Very brief, just to review the summary that you have been already provided. Primary liability coverage with Lloyd's of London, 1 million each occurrence, 2 million aggregate. Excess liability layer number 1, 5x of 1, 5 million x of 1 million, with Starstone National. And then excess liability, second layer with Markel American Insurance Company, 4 million, X of 6 million for a total combined layers of $10 million, which is required by the contracts outlined in primarily the Chicago South Shore Railroad contract. Annual premium, $49,173.50, which is slightly lower than the expiring.
Okay. Is there any public comment? Any board comment?
Madam Chair, I will say this, that during my tenure as a government official, starting with a councilman in 12 and ending with 4 years of mayor, I believe that general insurance has served our city extremely well, and I'm honored to make a motion to approve this.
Second.
And I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry,
Aye.
Mr. Vincent,
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Charlie.
Thanks, Mayor, for your nice comments, and I wish everybody and their families a Merry and Happy Christmas.
Same to you. Next item on the agenda is a request for street reconfiguration. Brad Minnick Haas and Associates is requesting approval for a street reconfiguration of Holiday Street to enhance traffic enhancement from the eastbound traffic turning southbound onto School Street. And I've received proof of funding from the Controller's Office, PO number 2022-00000. That's 50130. Brad, why don't you go ahead?
Good morning, Board. Brad Minnick, Haas and Associates. You can see the exhibit on the monitors here. There have been no accidents this year at this location. The concern is immediately ahead of the stop sign, the railroad crossing arm for southbound traffic on School Street. It's a tight corner if they're making a right-hand turn off a Holiday onto School Street. And the concern is for the safety of the crossing arm. At this time, with no accident history in the concrete median in service in the last several months, I've taken the liberty of highlighting it in yellow, but it hasn't been painted yet to date, but it will be to increase visibility of the island. But I would like the matter tabled until March 18th meeting in the spring. We'll have more comprehensive accident data at that time and a better handle on how this intersection performs in service.
Okay, so all right. Then I'll entertain a motion to table.
Motion to table, but first I would like to say again, I'll pull out my soapbox one more time and say I appreciate the service that Mr. Minnick and Haas Associates has provided this city, fulfilling our need for a city engineer during my tenure. Thank you so much, and please convey that to Mr. Haas.
Of course, thank you.
Motion to table.
Second.
I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry,
Aye.
Mr. Vincent.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next item on the agenda is a stop sign request. Cassandra Smith, 213 Lakeview Drive, is requesting a stop sign to be placed on the corner of 11th and Franklin Street for public safety. Corporal.
Good morning, Corporal Brian Wright, Michigan City Police Department Traffic Division Commander. In reviewing this and being in the area, 11th Street currently has a flashing red signal, which is the same as a stop sign, and flashing red means to stop. I believe once the 11th Street is open and everything is functioning the way it's intended to, that will be a more of a understood intersection once that's done. And 10th Street just north of that also has a functioning traffic signal that cycles as should. So at this moment, I would say that there's no need for a stop sign since the lights act the same way as a stop sign do.
Thank you, Corporal.
Just one comment in support of that recommendation. The anticipated opening of 11th Street is pushed to Thursday this week. That date has been fluid, but when 11th Street does open to eastbound traffic only, that signal, both signals mentioned, will be fully operational.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
One question, Madam Chair, for Mr. Minnick, if I may. Have all of the punch list items been acceptably resolved to you?
The punch list is ongoing and there'll be carryover items in the spring because asphalt plant production has stopped for the winter. So I hope to have the most current punch list available to the board at the next meeting. But as we've had favorable weather this fall, they keep chipping away at the punch list. So it is getting smaller.
Where are we at? Just ballpark? Are we 50, 100, 1,000
I would say they're about 25% remaining
on the punch list?
punch list.
Of
Yes.
how many items roughly?
There were 150 on the list.
150 items. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Do I have a motion on this matter?
Make a motion to deny.
Support.
Now I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next item is the monthly update from Flaherty and Collins. Updates and details to the construction building of the 6-story precast parking garage, 2 12 and 6-story apartment tower, and 2-story retail commercial space by the train station.
Morning,
Good
Board.
morning.
David Albers, Project Manager for Flaherty and Collins. We have underwent a delay with an unforeseen issue that happened at Pine and 10th Street with a discovered 100-year-old water main that we've had to mitigate by redesigning some of the sewer systems, which Arbor with the sanitary district has been very helpful with, along with their civil engineer. That is finally been redesigned and resolved. It's been submitted to IDEM for their approval for the change to the sanitary sewer system. And then once that is actually complete, then we can resume with our foundation systems. So we've experienced about a 1-month delay, about 4 to 6 week delay because of that. Precast installation and arrival is pushed to about late January to mid-February. And we hope to have more information at the next Board of Works meeting when we have actual the work in place with the sanitary fix. So I can entertain any questions you might have as far as that goes.
I have a few.
Yep.
Can you elaborate a little bit more as to why this 100-year-old water main affects a project? It seems to me to be outside the construction limits of the project.
It is, but there's an existing sewer that runs along the west side of Pine Street that has to be, that is running, that we would have had to tap into and connect a new line that would have crossed that water main that runs along 10th. And so because of the age of it, the water department asked that we not, or find a way to avoid excavating around that and running a new sewer line over top or even below it, because it could compromise the pipe. The nearest shutoff valve for that pipe was about 4 blocks away at Wabash. So it would have affected hundreds of residents if that would have.
Okay. Is this why I've seen no activity setting up the crane to set the panels or
Yeah, that's
the
correct.
garage panels, anything like that?
Yeah, the next step after we get that sewer resolved is to bring in our drilling rigs for the aggregate piers, which will be drilled down and stamped down. That creates the sub foundation system. And then from that point, concrete footings will be poured, and then the precast systems start to come in February.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I have a question.
Certainly.
Chair. Maybe you don't know the answer to this, but just thinking about a 100-year-old water pipe, is it time to retire that, and would now be beneficial time to do that while the street's closed, you're doing your construction? I mean, once you start driving piles and doing your work, that could compromise it as well. Not sure how that works, but
My humble opinion would be yes, it would be worth looking into, but that's outside of our, I don't know, Mr. Minnick can speak to that at all as far as the water main, but it would make sense in my eye.
I don't have, Chris's replacement program, for water pipes, Chris Johnson's, program in front of me today, but I can bring an update back to the January meeting.
Okay, thank you, Brad.
One more, please, if I may. These piling, and I'm curious, these piling that you're gonna be putting in place before you start setting the parking garage panels, are they structural steel, reinforced concrete piles, or are they timber piles?
It's actually crushed stone. So you auger it down and then you pour stone in there, stamp it down in different lifts. So it's aggregate piles, that.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I guess you learn something every day. I've seen a lot of piles installed. I've never seen anything like that. So
It'll
that
be
must be
aggregate, yeah.
new technology.
And for the tower, there will likely be a mix of some helical piers, which is a steel pipe component that'll be drilled down, but the majority of it is aggregate piles, especially for the garage.
All right, thank you.
Before we take the vote, is there any comment from the public here? Then. Yeah, right. Nothing else? Okay, all right, thank you. Appreciate it. Next item on the agenda is a payroll docket. The city payroll for December 1st, 2023, $165,969.19. City payroll for December 15, 2024 has not been received. The claims docket for December 18th, 2023, municipal claims of $2,370,742.14. Health and Life Insurance Fund, $1,000. CDBG, that's Community Development Block Grant, $132,947.71. Workers' Comp Trust, $64,831.71. Special events is zero. Total claims, $2,569,521.56. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve as read.
Support?
I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next is the unfinished business list. We have only two items, one being Councilman Paul Prespolinski's drainage issue. Brad? You were going to receive an update from NICD?
Correct. As I mentioned, the punch list, which this is a part of, is still, they're still working on it. And so I would ask that we push this out, to the first meeting in January
Okay.
for an update.
Okay. And likewise on the next item, which was the ADA corners, how are we doing on that?
The ramps have been resolved. They've been fixed, so.
Okay. Then we can take this off our
Yep.
list. Okay. I need a motion then to remove.
I'll make a motion to remove the ADA corners on 10th and 11th from the pending item list.
Support?
I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Brad. Next is public comment. Anyone here from the public wishing to make a comment? And moving on then to board comments. Are there any board comments?
I have a comment.
Certainly.
I'd just like to say it's been an honor and my pleasure to serve on this board, and I hope to continue that privilege beyond this year into next year and hopefully beyond. While serving, I know I've made a lot of friends. I just would like those friendships that I've made to continue. I'd like to thank Drew and his team for supporting us and doing whatever he could to alleviate that 10-pound gain on camera for me. Thank you to Gail and Amber for keeping everything in order. Amber, thank you for your knowledge and keeping us legal up here. Virginia, Dwayne, it's been a pleasure serving with you and having you as teammates, even though we've disagreed at times.
The pleasure's been mine.
I'd like to also thank the public for bringing their ideas and their thoughts for the improvement of Michigan City. And I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Well said.
It's been a pleasure to me to serve with the four of you for 4 years. You truly quality individuals. We did our job as Board of Works, and I appreciate being a part of this organization. Thank you very much.
And I second what each of these gentlemen has said. Moving on then, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Support?
I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry,
Aye.
Mr. Vincent,
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well.